Hello, I'm John Wilson. I'm delighted to announce that we have a very special addition to the Willow family of ambassadors who support this charity in helping to spread the word about the work of Willow in providing special days for seriously ill 16 to 40-year-olds. Mica Paris is one of Britain's great soul singers. She's got a wonderful voice, fantastic repertoire. If you're lucky enough to have seen Mica on the live stage, you'll know that she's an amazing live performer. Anybody who was there at the 20th anniversary Willow Ball last year will tell you that. Mica is also an actor. She's a star of musical theatre in the West End and more recently Albert Square. As EastEnders fans will tell you, Mica makes a pretty good screen villain. She's been tearing up the small screen as Ellie Nixon. Pretty dodgy character, Mica. Not like you in real life at all, is she?
No, you know me, I'm a hugger. And so I've never really been, with all the things I've done acting wise, I've never been a baddie. It was my first baddie, and I've got to tell you, I absolutely loved it. It was wicked.
All actors say that. You know what? They are the parts that actors really like to get their teeth into,
Yeah, and I
especially if
always
you're
used
not
to
like
wonder
that in
why
real
they
life.
said that. Well, exactly. And what's funny is you've always seen, like in interviews, actors say that. And I've always thought, why would they say that? Surely you want to be a nice guy all the time. But actually, no, it's really fun.
I'm going to come back to EastEnders in a bit, but let's talk
Yeah.
about Willow. You're an ambassador, so
Oh gosh,
why
I'm so
Willow?
honored.
Why is it important for you, Mica?
I love what you guys are doing. It's just amazing to be a
W-
part of that. And then when I got asked to be ambassador, I was like, that's really
Well, you've
good.
been supporting the charity for a while, haven't you? I mean, I mentioned the
Yes.
20th anniversary ball last year.
Mm.
I mean,
Oh,
that was the Savoy, and you
it
absolutely
was such a good
you
time.
ripped that place up, didn't you? That night, it was there was a lot of
Look
love
at
for you in
you
the
and
room.
me now. But look at you and me now. I mean, would we have ever thought that that would be, that we would be like this now, not being able to go out? I mean,
Yeah,
we partied like it was 1999 at that. It was just such a good night. And this is what I'm saying. These are some of the last performances that I did before all of this happened.
yeah.
And well, I'm very grateful that we at least had that experience.
Oh, and what do you want to do as an ambassador? Have you got plans? I mean, what you can offer
Yeah.
to Willow, do you think?
Well, my objective really is to meet the actual, you know, um, all of the kids and just anyone who you are supporting. That's the thing about the charities I get involved in. It's always about being hands-on. For me, it's like I have to be involved in it, not just a bystander. So because I think as a platform, what we have as artists is so unique. If you're not doing something fabulous with that, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping your mum and dad will get me in the trenches, and so I can meet the wonderful people and just give them love. And maybe they want a song. You never know. A lot of the times I get asked to
Yeah,
just sing a cappella.
yeah. It doesn't take much to get you singing, Misha. I know that. And we got to remember as well. I mean, there are so many people who are benefiting from
Yeah,
Willow, who are going
yeah,
through really tough times, as are their families. And very often,
yeah,
it's about getting them through the treatment. And it's actually
yeah,
about looking forward to the time when they are back up, fit, ready, and going to gigs again, as we all will be. But it's
yeah.
about positivity, really, isn't it?
Very much, come on, it's a very Jamaican people. I come from Jamaican, my parents are Jamaican, and even though I was born here, but we just don't take anything seriously for very long. We're always laughing, do you know? It's just always joking. It's just the cultural thing. And so, for us, we know we have to be like that because life can be very tough at times, just like we're all suffering right now. My job, even with my new record, it was about just bringing those songs together that I grew up with that always gave me a sense of hope. And I wanted to put a collection of songs together that gave everyone else hope. That's what we're here to do. You're doing your bit, I'm doing my bit. And that's really what we're here to do, right?
Tell us about those new songs, Misha. Tell us about the repertoire that you've put together on this new record.
The new album, I Want to Know Where Love Is. It's like one of my favorite songs. It had it was by Foreigner. And I just remember being like a little teenager seeing that song and seeing the video. You remember they used to have the hair, the rocker had the hair with the big leather jacket. And, it was always like really hazy. There was always like lots of haze. But that song is such a fantastic song that I don't care what you're going through, you're going to be uplifted by it. So I chose that for that reason. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. You too. When I signed to Island Records at 17, they're the first people I saw in the lobby at Island Records walking
Really?
through, you know. When I heard Joshua Tree, that was such a life-changing moment for me. And the fact that they had just walked past me in the lobby, I nearly, you know, nearly fainted. And I was only a teenager. So that was why I chose that one. Something Inside So Strong. This is really important. We all have those moments where we hit that brick wall and we're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? That song, Something Inside So Strong, I don't care who you are, you're going to feel that. You're just going to feel it. So that's why I chose that. That's helped me out of a lot of situations. And the gospel music is my youth.
Yeah.
You know, so Amazing Grace, you know, that song, singing that song when I was a little girl in church, people would just tear up. It was you know, it's a powerful song. Whether you hear it at a funeral or a wedding, it emotes all this emotion. So those are the songs, some of the songs that I chose on the album.
So it's a Mica songbook. It's songs that mean something to you personally. I mean, you talk about being signed to Island Records and 17, 18 years old. I mean, it takes me back. We've talked about this before, but first time I saw you on stage, I still can't believe this. It was at the Camden Palace in North London. And it was a Prince after show. Prince was famous for playing 2-3 hour sets at, I don't know, Wembley Arena or whatever, and then always throwing an after show party in some small club. And he was at the Camden Palace in London. I don't know how I managed to blag in, but I remember halfway through the gig, him leaning down, offering the microphone to a young girl who was jammed up against the front row, and she sang Just My Imagination. Was it?
That's the one, babe.
It was just my imagination. And it was, ladies and gentlemen, a then unknown Mica Paris. You hadn't been signed then, I don't think, had you?
Well, I just got signed, but the record hadn't come out yet.
Ah, right.
Basically, at that time, this is what was so unique about that experience. Number one, amazing that you were there. But number two, what was so shocking was I literally had the ink hadn't dried from the pen.
Right.
You know, I literally had just signed to Ireland and I got that golden ticket and I went with my best mate from school and we were stood there in shock that he was in front of us. And the fact that he'd actually acknowledged me to sing was just, I nearly passed out. It was one of those moments. And I actually forgot the words of the song. All I could remember was the first line. So I just went, it was just, and I held the note really long because I couldn't remember the words, but it was nerves.
Amazing.
So the place went crazy. It was a great night, wasn't it? It was amazing.
It was an amazing night, amazing night. I mean, what an introduction to you, you know, to your audience after that. You're going to be back, I was going to say on stage, on a virtual stage. Your next gig is for the Willow Virtual Ball. You're going to be performing again for us. Yeah, absolutely. I'll always be there for you guys. You know that. I just love what you're doing. And now I'm actually a part of the family now, finally. So that's really good. I'm in. So it's just great. And Bob's and Megs, I love them. You know, I love you. I mean, you guys are just, you're awesome. I'm just, you know, this is a step towards the right direction. But, you know, I still know that there's going to come a time where we're going to jam again like we did last year in the same room. It's coming. Yeah. So what was the people who are going to be queuing up for the virtual ball, you know, tickets still available, but what are they going to be seeing from Mica Paris? A cappella, or are you going to have? Yeah, I'm going to have the choir singing with me, and it's going to be a cappella. That's what we're going to do. I just, you know, the stripped down thing is more powerful, I think, sometimes you just have to get rid of the music and just have the voices and you feel it, you know? Yeah. And back to EastEnders at some point, do you think? Oh, John, I don't know, darling. You know those ones. I listen, if the phone rings, I'll tell you. Exactly. But I had the best time there. Got to tell you, they're fabulous people. Great bunch of, you know, they're all like a little family down there. Everyone looks after each other. It's really fab. So I hope they call me back. It'd be nice. I'm sure they will do. Mica Paris, thank you so much. You can see, as we say, Mica Paris performing at the Willow Virtual Ball this year. It will be an unmissable night. Mica, thanks so much. Great to talk to you as ever. Always, darling. Thank you. And then they can